false grip, hook grip, pronated, supinated. Have you heard your coach talk about these grips? I want to go through the most common grips you're going to experience when you use different implements. These are the most common implements, so these are the ones I'm going to start with. Now, what's important is to know what the different technical terms are. So when we start with the barbell, there's what's called the pronated grip. Pronated grip is when your hands are over. Supinated is the opposite, or sometimes they'll call it an underhand grip. Now, what the purpose of each one is for is you target different muscles in a different way. That's the simplest way to think about it. So again, pronated, supinated. Now, we can take this one step further. There's a few types of grips, but the two of the most common ones, come here, is a hook grip. So I have my thumb hooked underneath and I lock it in. This is common, most common, I would say, in Olympic lifting. That's so that bar really doesn't go anywhere when you're holding onto it. You might want to use that when you're throwing a lot of weight over your head. Now, majority of the time, people are using what's called a false grip, where the thumb is on the same side as the fingers, right? So a pronated, supinated, same thing. Now, when you move over to dumbbells are a little bit more free because you're not locked in, both hands facing the same way. Which reminds me, there's a grip that's called a mixed grip. I need you to understand, if you like your biceps, I don't want you to use a mixed grip. We don't do that around here, but this is technically what it is. One hand one way, one hand other, like you're holding a hockey stick or something like that. And again, if you like your biceps or you like hanging around me, I don't think you want to do that stuff. Back to the other step. So with the dumbbells, you could do what's called a neutral grip. So your palms are facing each other. Of course, you can still do supinated and pronated, but you have a little bit more freedom there. Again, most people are going to use a false grip where it comes to this kind of stuff. One last one. With the kettlebell, it's slightly different because of the shape of it, right? So when you grab the kettlebell, you grab it by the horns. And that's the most common grip that you're going to use. Typically, if you're putting it overhead, you're going to grab it right in the middle. You can offset it. Sometimes you might do that if it's a heavier kettlebell and you can't get your wrist inside the horn. In some cases, when you're trying to improve your strength or stability, you do what's called a bottoms up grip. So as you're moving it, you're trying to balance it and it helps to improve the stabilizer. So these are the most common grips that you come into contact with. And remember, we don't do mixed grip around here.